Veronica's Dog Day Afternoon is the fourth episode of the second season of Veronica's Closet, and we have two narratives here. The main one revolving around Buddy, and Buddy had to go to the vet, and then he's spending time in the office, and it's lovely to see Buddy again. We haven't seen Buddy much in quite a while, and he's such a beautiful dog. He's absolutely gorgeous. However, not everybody thinks that, and Alec, it turns out, is not a fan of dogs. He has a reason. I won't share the reason because that's part of the fun of the narrative. But his reason is quite interesting, and he had an encounter with a dog. And all I will say is try and guess what breed of dog you think turned him off of dogs. I would put money on saying you can't guess. I certainly wouldn't be able to guess. But it's also quite interesting to have somebody who just doesn't like dogs. It very rarely happens in TV shows, although there is Friends where, well, I won't say any more about that. But I rather enjoyed that part of the narrative. It was so cute to see Buddy a lot more. Veronica interacting with Buddy was cute, and I really rather enjoyed that part of the narrative. Then we have one between Olive and Perry. And Olive recommends the film Shampoo to Perry, which is great. Shampoo is certainly a very interesting film, worth watching if you haven't seen it. And Olive says it's basically Perry's life, and when Perry watches the film, he's not exactly happy with that, and he begins to worry about what his life's going to be and what his relationships are like. And there are some interesting scenes between Olive and Perry, and they're not a couple we see that often together. Obviously not a couple in that sense, but when we have characters interacting with each other, it's not often Olive and Perry. It's usually Perry and Leo, or Perry and Veronica. But it was different. It was fascinating, and I liked it. And I like that we get to dig a little bit deeper into Perry and how he really feels about things, because I think he has a bit of a veil in front of him, or he's got a barrier up. He comes across as very strong and very self-assured, but I feel like he's maybe not as emotionally strong as he thinks. I think when we scratch away at the surface, there are some vulnerabilities there that we start to see here, and I think it was a really interesting character development. For me, Josh provided most of the comedy in this episode. I thought Josh was hilarious. His responses to things were brilliant. He had a lot of really brilliant one-liners with obviously fantastic delivery. So that was very, very entertaining too. I mean, Josh is always funny, but in this episode, I feel like he helped to carry a lot of the comedy. He was just always in the right place at the right time and knew the right thing to say, which I rather liked. Definitely a good episode. Veronica's Dog Day Afternoon has a couple of strong stories going on, and it's always nice to see Buddy again. Definitely one I enjoyed.